We got to talk about what's going on in the market here, because investors looking ahead to some opportunities in AI after CoreWeave's disappointing debut Friday. Joining us right now for more on the sector and maybe the IPO world and everything else. Paul Meeks, CIO at Harvest Portfolio Management. Take a look right now. We're looking at NVIDIA, by the way, down about 4%. But you look at what happened with CoreWeave on Friday, and it says what to you, Paul?
Well, obviously, at least in the near term, the bloom is somewhat off the AI rose. But I will tell you that although I have a big cash hoard right now, I am trying to focus on AI infrastructure trades for the rebound, which I think, I don't want to say it's inevitable anytime soon, but these stocks will come back, at least a select group. So the CoreWeave IPO was pretty sad. I was actually a private investor in the company, and now I'm slightly underwater. But I think once the company starts reporting their results, we get into the middle of this particular summer, I think people will be much more relieved and the stock should lift.
You know, we're looking at a market right now, given the tariffs that are going to come on that we're going to hear about on Wednesday. And it's hard to believe the market's going to rally over the next 2 days. My question to you is, do you look at this and say, that's opportunity in the AI world or some other world?
So, Andrew, for a select few, right, over the last couple of years, the AI infrastructure trade, which is focused on hardware and semiconductors, it has been a situation where we all know the tide has lifted all boats. And on the other hand, we've now started to fall. But there will be some key companies, not all of them, but some key companies that I would be positioned in. And I'm not really looking at the fundamentals now, Andrew, because I think they will come back. I've become a technical analyst, and I'm looking for signs of these stocks to trough before I either buy them or add to them.
Speak to the DeepSeek of it all, though, because one of the questions, we were just talking about this in the last hour, is this idea that if DeepSeek and some of these other open models effectively can take on the OpenAIs of the world, the Anthropics of the world, a lot of the folks who are spending extraordinary amounts of money, it may have an impact, by the way, on infrastructure and everything else, the energy and everything else that ultimately is required. And are we overbuilding?
So I know the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, of course, everybody, when they're on air, are going to talk their book. He's no exception. He's essentially the cheerleader for AI. But I will tell you that I do believe his thesis, his philosophy, what he's telling the street and others, that when you lower the cost of the technology, via DeepSeek or other models from the China or in the United States, that you will build demand. And the next step of AI, which is inferencing, has voracious demand for infrastructure. And so I actually think in the long run, after we get through this turbulence, Andrew, that we will be in a better situation with a lot more demand for computing intensity than we had before.
Paul, we're going to leave the conversation there. We will see where all of this goes, and I'm sure we'll talk to you a lot more about it very, very soon. Thanks.